I'll tell you, it was right whenever Facebook started to advertise, like target advertising. So you know how you get on Facebook and there's certain things like a shirt that's got a pattern on it, and you'll see it on there for a few days. So I guess they just kind of followed my likes and they knew what I liked, and they threw it on there. And as soon as I saw it, it was one of those buys where I'm like, "Yep." I've
Yeah.
rocked
Target marketing.
Target marketing. Some weird stuff.
Have you ever bought a guitar off of Facebook?
Let me think. I've bought a lot of guitars. I've sold a bunch on Facebook.
What's
Place?
I have bought a guitar from Facebook. Yeah.
what do you get
I didn't
targeted?
buy it like right off of Facebook.
What's the last thing you remember being targeted to purchase?
Classic Tees. That's the brand. Classic. They think I need T-shirts right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Jordan?
That's a great question.
Solo stove or grill or solo. It's a little fireplace.
Yeah.
Solo fireplace.
Like the mini ones?
Yeah, I've been looking at the mini ones. Yeah.
What
They've
the
been
inf-
targeting me for the T-shirts and it's Argentine barbecue grill.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you need a
The
barbecue
trigger
grill?
got me
No,
too.
I just bought a pit boss.
So you
actually.
just bought
I
one.
just bought
All right,
one.
guys, in the comments, drop what they're targeting you right now.
I
We
bought a
need to
pellet
know.
smoker. I
We're gonna
joined the club.
we're gonna try to get our targets just the overflow.
So it's a trigger grill too for me.
Is it really?
So yeah, just look at them. I've been get into.
you just look
Maybe
at
I
that.
should do barbecue. Like maybe I should be.
You should.
Maybe I should. Give it
Are
a
they
shot.
targeting southern regions and all males are catching the same thing? I'm ready to get your stats on this.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question.
Uh,
I mean, think about
Some things they put in my feed like the target on. I can't like remember exactly what I just realized. I just look at it like Amazon ads or Wish.com. I'm like, I've never looked at these things in my life. You know what?
but you thought about them like 10 minutes prior to that.
I might have. That's
they
kind of
knew
creepy.
that.
it. On your phone, did you just bring it up?
No, like I haven't even searched it or nothing. It's weird. Like,
So I always say that with the Amazon Alexa, like or the speaker, that captures all your data. If you have ideas, thoughts, they can remember. So phones remember your phones know everything you're
I
saying.
believe that.
I think your phones can predict the future.
Yeah, no
of
shit,
them.
dude.
I mean, based
You
on
know, because mine sends me reverb notification. Hey, this guitar's for sale on Reverb.
yeah.
Oh,
I might
shit.
just need one of those.
But is it like a bass or is it a guitar?
Usually it's Martin acoustic guitars because that's what I collect.
But do they ever just like fuck up and send you a bass?
Yeah, sometimes they send me the weirdest off the wall thing you could think
Okay.
of. Yeah.
What was the Martin place over off? Was it Dido Road or O'Neill or somewhere? They just like an old wooden shack, and they used to sell guitars, and Martin was one of them. Maybe do you know what I'm talking about?
There used to be
I think it was Dido Road.
was it Dita? Yeah, it was like a bluegrass shack or something. They have like jam sections and stuff.
They
out there.
had
Somebody was just telling me about
banjos
that
and
the
stuff
other
in there and
night.
guitars.
I never went there.
I used to go there and buy strings and stuff
Really?
way back in the day.
Sounds like my kind of place.
Yeah, it was neat. I never bought a Martin though. I was too
I've
poor.
only got 3 of them right now.
They're fine playing
What
guitars.
year is that, Martin?
This is a 1945. This is the
Sick shit.
pride of the fleet right now.
1945.
1945 D18. And everything on the guitar except for the saddle and the nut is all original. It's had lots of bad luck throughout its life, as you can see. And,
We call them war scars.
it's war
right there.
scars, man.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's what adds to the tone of it.
Hey,
But
Oh, shit.
it's a Canon, man. It's my favorite.
I love it. Let's show out our sponsors real quick. Shout out to Golden Gulf Insurance Services.
You need insurance. There's insurance, and you can get home, auto, commercial, builder's risk, and coming soon, health.
Gulf South Productions, Daniel Lozada and the team. Lighting, staging, any big event, they've got you covered.
I would say a big part of that though is like especially in production, Daniel Lozada and the team, like because that's very important. If you have an event, like you want to have, we're with a musician right now, like you want to have the right audio set up so before your gig, you don't want it to backfire on you. You want it, you want people that understand it and put on a great performance because that's what you need.
Yeah. And then last but not least, Loxicom. Pete Jones, Derek Schimper, Smart House. These guys will come in, complete home automation, security cameras. They got you.
honestly, if you need your AC turned on at 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock,
That's the place to be.
and if you want to listen to big timers, they can do that for you too. Set it on the time. You got to take it. You got to use the restroom. Got to take a number 2. They will definitely drop that for you.
Okay. I'll start it off.
I gotta get some clothes for my reunion.
Okay. Drinking beer with Matthew and Jordan. Hop up on the surfboard, I'm soaring. All these other podcasts boring.
Okay.
They don't really know what we be doing. I be rocking Jordan and Matthew podcast. Catch them on every Monday and Tuesday. They gon' last. Everyone around here know that. 100 views and we show that. Give a fuck 'cause we throw that. Money coming in and everybody around here fucking know that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey,
Taylor, what's up, dude?
I'm great, man. How y'all doing?
Doing
What's
good,
happening?
man. Welcome to the
Ty,
studio.
let's
Happy
dive,
Monday.
let's dive in a little bit. Of this.
Okay.
All right.
What we dive
Give us a little
into?
background.
Oh,
Who is Ty?
man.
Who is Ty?
Ty? Well,
Hmm?
I'm a guy that likes old acoustic guitars and to pick them every now and then. Although what comes out of them might not be that good, I still try to make a noise with it.
Come on now.
I've
I've heard
doing
you
it.
play numerous times.
Yeah.
It's pretty good,
I
dude.
appreciate it. It's all you just got to buy guitars that play themselves. That's
Okay, so
the
I remember the pianos that played themselves. That used to be on the TV shows.
player pianos.
Are there guitars that do that?
I don't know. I
What
don't
about a
know.
keytar? Have you ever played the keytar?
Can't say that I have.
Me either. Brendan Roybal plays
He
the
plays the
keytar.
guitar. He's played the guitar.
Plays them
man.
well.
Plays that,
He
and he's got the
does.
deepest V-necks.
He does
on
that. too.
Anybody, any musician I know.
He has a talent for picking out very nice V-necks.
Yeah, love him. Shout out, Brendan.
Shout out.
Um,
Old Ben Brent.
so how long have you been playing?
So I started playing. I've been playing professionally this year 20 years.
Wow.
So that's like about the.
You can retire now.
Oh,
right?
I should.
No, but like actually
Musicians don't
starting.
retire. They just
When did
die.
you start playing the guitar? How do you remember yourself being?
I
like-
was 7 or 8. I can't remember. I'll tell you the background, man. So I started when I was about 4, playing keyboards, playing piano. But I always wanted to play guitar. One day I came home. My dad had a Hank Williams Sr. tape on, and that just rocked my world. My dad, first off, was just a monster musician to begin with. So I grew up around it. I'm like 3rd generation professional musicians in my family, actually. Yeah. So that I know of. So I came home and he had the Hank Williams tape on. I said, man, that's great. And one day I went to the music store with him, and there was a 3/4 size guitar sitting in the corner. I picked it up, was playing with it. I didn't know what to do on it. And he showed me a couple chords. I was like, that's great. And one day I came home from school and he had that guitar sitting on the couch just like that. And he showed me a few chords, wrote them out, showed me how to play some rhythm. And that night I learned Kalijah, the Hank Williams Sr. song. The next morning I woke him up playing Kalijah, and I ain't checked up since. So that's how I
Wow,
got started.
that's a good
Damn,
story.
dude.
Yeah.
So
Can you do that real quick?
Sure. Yeah. Let's play a little Kalijah.
I just want to see it.
so this is the first song you've ever
This is
played
the
Yeah.
first song
ever.
He's not doing a full song. He's
No,
just,
let's play a
he
little
just
bit of it.
he's showing you a sample of what he learned.
This guitar's loud, so I'm gonna back this away.
Okay.
Elijah was a wooden Indian standing by the door. He fell in love with the Indian maid over in the antique store. Elijah just stood there and never let it show, so she could ever answer yes or no. Anyway,
Yeah. Fuck.
poor old Elijah, he
How old?
got a kiss, 8 by 7 or 8, whatever it is.
So,
So-
you were determined.
Yeah, and then the words
Oh,
that
yeah.
you sing. Did you know all the words to that song?
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do, man. Yeah.
So you knew that.
That'd be a professional bass fisherman.
Is he a
Okay,
prodigy?
I like
That's a
that.
prodigy. There's a Tom Brady playing guitar right there.
Oh, Brendan Roy was shouting it out. He says, "Not Todd Taylor." Ask him about how. Ask him about how he bought that. Pit
Brandon bought me
boss.
the pit boss because he didn't show up to a gig and I kept his cut of the pay.
Oh.
He
That
bailed
worked
on
out
me.
then. That worked out.
Look, I owe him one. I owe him a meal on the pit boss.
Yeah. All right.
That's funny.
So you said 3/4 guitar. Is that the
That's the
size?
size, yeah. So this, obviously it's full size, but they make a half and a 3/4 size for kids. It's just a little more shorter scale, shorter body, smaller body, more comfortable for the child.
Do you still have that
I
guitar?
do.
Would you ever let it go?
Never in a million years. It's
Yeah.
hanging up in my music room. If any of my kids ever want to learn how to play,
You're gonna make them play on that one first.
no,
That sounds.
it's not the most comfortable guitar in the world. I got a lot better ones for them to learn on now. But actually, I might make them tough.
So I had an old like Mexican style guitar that I learned how to play on. My aunt gave it to me whenever I think I was 12. Just for Christmas. I asked my parents for one and they were like, no, it's just another hobby that you're gonna get into. And they were right.
But you never know though.
No, I
You
mean
really
I
don't.
play now even still. So but I'm not anywhere near as good as you.
I
And my
agree.
downfall was rhythm and lack of remembering the words to whatever. I couldn't sing and play at the same time. It was
Now
very hard skill.
I can barely remember the words of my own song, so don't worry about that. But rhythm, I used to teach, and I would pound that into my students. It's way more important to understand the
Where
rhythm.
would you teach at?
I used to teach at Magnolia Music in Pascagoula. That was the store I taught out of.
So I took guitar lessons
Okay.
at Magnolia Music. What was it in Ocean Springs?
In Ocean Springs.
Yeah, it was something before it was Magnolia
Take with
Music.
the
I can't remember what it's called, but that's where it was before that. Leonard Vergunst or Dan Vergunst was Dan. Dan was my guitar teacher.
Dan, yeah, he was
Yeah.
teacher there when I was teaching. Pascagoula.
Small world, dude.
Yeah, man. Danny, yeah.
He was good.
Oh, he's great. He's a classical guitarist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Really?
I tried.
Tried.
No. I remember learning how to read the music.
Have you seen the ponytail?
I remember learning how to read
I
the music
wish-
and then forgetting how
wish
to
I could
read
do one.
the music. I was like, man, I just want to rock and roll. And
Well,
reading
understand.
the notes wasn't it for me. So
Yeah. I didn't learn how to read music till really learn how to read music good until in my teens, later in my teens.
is there a benefit to it?
Oh yeah, it's good to read.
And it's just, I mean, you could play any instrument by reading it, or
If you can read good, it's like read good. You can put any piece of music in front of you, as long as your technique is there. Also,
right.
and play it. I can't read nowhere near as good. If you ask me to sight read a piece of music like that today, it'd take me a few minutes to look at it. And kind
Yeah, I
of,
look for the letters or the chords.
Right.
And I could play that. To me, that was always easier.
it's good to know how to do it. I always tell musicians, like the younger kids, like, should I read music? Yes, you should, especially if you're going to do it in a studio setting. It doesn't happen often. I do a lot of session work, studio work for people, but every now and then I'll get on a session with somebody and they'll give me a chart and there'll be a line on it about 4 bars with a lick that's written out in musical notation or a rhythmic pattern that they want me to play. And in the studio world, time is money. And if you can't sit there and do it like that, they're going to call you back.
Yeah.
So, it's good to keep it up. It's like carrying a gun, I guess. It's good to have on you if you ever need it,
When
but
you
you don't want
need
to go
it.
around
So-
using it
So
all.
how
Yeah.
often do you do sessions?
I do quite a bit, at least try to do 2 or 3 a week. But I do a lot of them out of my house too.
So you have to know it. Like, yeah.
I don't read music out of my house that much. If like the session work I do out of my house, I play pedal steel guitar a lot. That's kind of like my main
Dude, that's
studio
sweet.
thing.
That's real
Shit,
sweet. I didn't
you
know that.
really
I've
play
never,
that?
Oh yeah,
You
I've
know
been
that?
playing it since I was 15. Yeah, that's my
That's
main
fucking dope.
so what was your dad's instrument?
guitar. He played still a little bit, but guitar and bass. He was a monster guitar player though.
Was he in a band?
He's played for all kind of people.
Okay.
Yeah, he just freelanced.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Do you know how we met? Do you know how like Ty, like I met Ty was, we were at Glory Bound and Ty, we were chit chat like out in the bar in the center,
Yeah.
and we kind of it was just a night where just like, hey, I was just like, hey, hit it off, like great music, and it was him. He goes, I like y'all's podcast with Calvin Parker. My dad worked with him.
Ah, that's dope.
Yeah, he did.
That's
I was
awesome.
like,
He worked with him.
I was like,
And,
Well, dude,
Charles
play.
Dixon.
Can you play us a song?
Sure.
Yeah. What do you want? Anything that you want, I guess. I mean, I'm excited.
You know, let's do this one. Speaking of my dad, because he's been gone 10 years this July.
R.I.P.
And y'all talk about you just went on the fishing trip
Yeah,
for your buddy, you know, with the
that was a good trip.
his dad
His dad.
anniversary.
Yeah.
My dad, I tried to do a fishing trip myself for my dad because that was, other than music, growing up, you fished and you hunted. That's what you did. I still
That's my life.
do to this day. I mean, and that's what my kids are running to do.
I love it.
My son is becoming quite this. But first of all, let's backtrack. Let's give a shout out to my oldest boy, Lloyd, and the Causey Middle School archery team over in Mobile. They are the state champions.
Oh, heck yeah.
They won state champions.
That's awesome.
Championship this past
Shout
Friday,
out
so
Lloyd. Congrats, man.
Good job, Lloyd and Causey archery. But yes, so and I'm instilling that in my children. I want them to be able to go out. And if it all goes to hell tomorrow and hits the fan, they can go out in the woods and survive. You know what I mean? That's a very important skill set.
I feel like it is too.
Yeah. But anyway, so me and Daddy, we were big fishermen and all right, partner, old Tommy. That was my second dad, Tommy Crawford. We lost him a couple years ago. We'll talk about him a lot later on.
Your dad's best friend?
He was good friends with Daddy, yeah, and but he took me under his wing. He was a monster songwriter. He took me under his wing when I was 18 and started teaching me songwriting.
Oh shit!
And that became my passion, songwriting. Thanks to Tommy, he really helped mold me in what I am and what I do today.
What's the closest thing like when you say song is like poetry?
Sorta, yeah. But Tommy's approach to it and the way he taught me, it makes so much sense because it gets through to people. Is write the song just like you would talk to somebody, like you're having a conversation with them. You have a story to tell them. Tell it to them in that song, just like you're going to talk to them, have a conversation with them with that song. And that just stuck with me all my life, you know. But
I'm learning this shit right now.
I try to learn something every day.
Tommy. Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you, Tommy. We
love you, Tommy.
We love you a whole bunch. So here is one we wrote a year after my dad died. Tommy and I. Anyway, I'll play it for you. I heard the fish are biting up and I could catch them all day. Big grids are running, tearing up top of Water Bay. We ought to be high-fiving, steady reeling them in. Oh, it don't make sense to be here. Let us ride like this. We ought to be fishing instead of sitting here talking. The weather's perfect all week long. And it's that time of year. I got the boat running. We ought to be in it this morning. Daddy, I know you're listening. We ought to be fishing. I know you always told me they won't swim up to the house. Yes, son, you gotta be out there where the big ones swim around. And I can still remember when I was a kid, we'd grab a pole, we'd hit the creek, then it's right like this. So we ought to be fishing instead of sitting here talking. The weather's perfect all week long, and it's that time of year. I got the boat running. We ought to be in it this morning. Yeah, Daddy, I know you're listening. We ought to be fishing. But I'm sitting on this concrete bench, standing asking why. And I still can't wrap my head around the fact that we lost you last July. So we ought to be fishing instead of sitting here talking. Weather's perfect all week long, and it's that time of year. I got the old boat running. Yeah, we ought to be in it this morning. Daddy, I know you're listening. Yeah, Daddy, I know you're listening. So we ought to be fishing. We ought to be fishing. We ought to be fishing.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's dope, dude. I love that song. So you wrote that. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
With hundreds and hundreds of more.
All right.
That one will be
But hold
coming
on,
out later
real quick,
on.
that
We'll be putting that one out later on this year on my new
when-
album or EP. I hadn't decided which one.
that's what I was gonna ask. How are you dropping them?
Yeah, so sometime around the summertime they'll be ready. So looking at July.
So
Late
go,
June, July.
can we go into, like, you talked about it earlier before you, like, you showed up a little early, kick it and hang out. But you talked about this one thing about, like, in 2014, you were kind of like they got kind of hit being the plant of country music, or
Well, that's what we were trying to do, and I was being shopped a little bit, and I didn't fit the mold of 2014. So I was sitting, I believe it was Universal Publishing, I think. I can't remember. We were up there, I was being shopped for a development deal or whatever. He said, Ty, we like your stuff, but right now, hip hop is the big thing. It's like, man, and your stuff just too much like storytelling type stuff, more traditional side. I said, yeah, it is. That's who I am, and that's all I can be. I can't pretend to be something I'm not. You know what I mean? I can't. I just it wouldn't feel right to me.
Right.
I'd be selling myself short. I'd be selling the listener short because I wouldn't be putting in my whole all with it. You know what I mean?
Now,
I don't
Just-
want to write something and make something that I don't believe in.
so Universal actually has like a developmental program.
Oh yeah, like all those labels do. So,
I
like,
didn't know
for
that.
instance, they sign you as a publishing deal first. They'll like sign you on a publishing deal if they want you, and then you can just be a writer, or they can do like an artist development deal where you write for them and you get songs cut while you're kind of shaping and finding your own sound.
Is that what Eddie's like Hardy and Morgan Wallen? Is that what
Yeah,
they're
probably
growing up
so,
to?
yeah, because Hardy was a big writer.
I remember
before
being a
he
writer,
was- yeah.
and
Yeah.
I've never really listened to a lot of his music. I know
And that's kind of like the way they're breaking into mainstream Nashville nowadays.
so they're just like the minor leagues, just sitting on the sidelines waiting to get pulled
Luke
up.
Bryan was a writer before he was a big artist. In fact, the Billy Currington song "Good Directions," Luke was a writer on that.
Really?
Chris Stapleton is your greatest example of that. Chris was writing for all kind of people, you know.
So what have you written for? How many of these songs have you ever written and gotten them to somebody else, or
I've
are
had a
you
couple
playing all
cut,
yours?
like in the Texas markets and stuff that I've written? I couldn't remember one of them how they went to say.
I mean, did you make money off of them? Yeah. So that,
Every now and then, I'll still even get a little royalty check in the mail. So
that's good. That's awesome.
they're not much.
No,
but
but
they're fun to hang up on the wall. Whatever. You know?
shit,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
funny.
that's got to be bragging.
I
rights,
got
so,
one.
like-
I got one time. It was for a penny. It cost them more money to send me the check than it was worth. I got it framed and somewhere. I don't know where.
You
it's
got to
at.
start somewhere.
But yeah, yeah.
So what's your so you're right. What do you sit down at 5:30 after work, or 6 o'clock? Do you have like a routine where you
No.
sit there for 20 minutes? How do you write?
When it hits me, that's it. When I hear, so one of my favorite writers is a guy named Hank Cochran, and he's written tons of hits throughout country. One of the most successful writers in country music of all time. Well, I got to know Hank a little bit before he died, and he gave me the best piece of advice for songwriting ever, and it was learning how to recognize the idea. Always listen for the idea. It might be sitting here talking to y'all. Y'all might give me the next idea. Who knows? Whatever. I might stop at the gas station, hitchhiker test something to me. It gives me an idea. You never know. You got to be listening all the time. You got to be in tune and listening.
That
all
makes
the
me
time.
think of the Dewey Cox story. And when she's like, "Don't you dare write a song about this, Dewey." He takes his monkey and he leaves.
Look, I'm watching that movie tonight.
that's one of
I'm
my
watching that
favorites.
movie tonight.
That's what.
But
I'm
you
trying
feel
to-
that,
Yeah.
All right. So whenever you're writing, do you write with chords and a tune in mind, or do you write and then you go back and you got to find the music to go with
No,
it?
it's usually at the same time. I usually do it at the same time. Like I'll get a hook in my head or a line in my head. Like usually I always start with a hook. And the way I write, I always write the chorus. I like
So
to
what
write
is
the
a
chorus.
hook?
A hook would be like, we ought to be fishing.
Yeah.
Daddy, I know you're listening. Right now, we ought to be fishing. That's a hook.
Yeah.
For instance, that's the hook of the song.
Okay.
Usually, a lot of times, it'll be the title of the song or whatever. Or
Me and Jordan tried. We wrote.
Yeah.
We did some
might have to
SoundCloud stuff.
number one hit.
But I was like, yeah, it might be. We got a long way to go. But I remember what we found. I mean, I went to straight Google and was like, how to write a song. And one of the things was just record yourself
Yeah.
and be, free thinking while you're recording yourself, and then it'll come to you. And that's what we did. And it happened. It did happen. We were able to pull a couple things out of what we did, and it worked well. And
And I tell you, I do the majority of my writing in the truck when I'm driving. That's when and that phone right there probably has 2 or 3 albums worth of songs.
Garrett, still it.
and ideas.
Still it, son of a bitch. Still it.
They make no sense to no one but me right now. A lot of them don't. But
So your notes. Notes.
notes and voice
Yeah.
memos.
So I think we do a good bit of notes.
I got notes.
I do
everywhere.
voice memos. I'll be coming down right. Blah, blah,
So
blah.
I think my biggest thing is like, it'd be a Saturday night, and this is just how I roll. Like I was some reason, kids down, weekend, we got a movie on, and I
Yep.
just start writing ideas or skits for us.
Right.
Like just start writing
Yeah.
skits.
Ideas for the show.
It's the stupidest shit. About 1 a.m.
You got to
making a
get it
text.
when it comes to you, though.
Yeah.
You got to get it when it comes to you. You cannot let it sit. I can't count the times where I've had a good idea. I would have
Just
to
float
drink
through and go.
and wake up in the middle of the night and I got to get this out or whatever that's
Yeah.
close to me and at least get a piece of it down. Because I know if I go back to sleep or whatever, I don't care how it's gonna be gone forever.
I lose them all the time,
Dude,
and half of them are probably dumb as hell anyway. Like,
I've lost some that I know were keepers, but I can't remember them.
yeah, me too, and it
it's
hurts.
just like,
That
it
hurts.
I've lost a lot more were garbage probably, and
That's how I feel
all
too.
garbage,
Yeah.
but
So does your music come from you? Like, how about dreams?
a couple times, yeah.
Do you have a notepad next to your bed?
Phone now. The phone now.
Do
That's
you
the
wake up
notepad.
in the middle of the night and grab that?
Oh yeah, several times.
So that's been happening lately to me. Like, so
Several
I'll go.
I don't like turning my phone on in the middle of the night. It's too bright.
I'm going through Belvedere problems right now because me and Garrett really had a big session.
What is that?
It's a
don't-
cartoon. We're going to launch it pretty soon. Like we've been working on it
Okay.
for a couple years, but now we've been putting work in. So going over ideas about like the story.
Cool.
It's really, I mean, it's based on the coast. I'll be honest, like it is a coast cartoon to a level.
It's about me and Jordan went on a LARP festival, live action role play, which is where you dress up, and there's like archers and knights and almost Game of Thrones esque, and
Like a
then-
Renaissance fair
yeah,
type thing.
that.
Yeah.
We went and we dressed up, and then we kind of created these characters and made them come to life in animation.
That's
And now we've been slowly writing a pretty standard storyline for them, but we are implementing things that have to do with the coast, and it's just kind of if you know, you know. So it's been fun. It's been challenging, but a learning process, and that's figuring it out. Just the same way you figured out
Yeah.
Hank Williams when you were 8 years old. You know,
Anything,
you're sitting there.
even in like day to day thing, like you have to have a piece of note paper and you have to write shit down, like day to day. Like you have to drink all the coffee. No,
I'm gonna drink all the coffee.
Do it.
drink all the coffee.
But yeah, if you go look on our notes in the studio, I guess editing room, you'll see step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, because we would take a break in between working on it, and we'd come back and we're like, oh man, we either have to relearn this or we make notes.
Dude,
So
I have to go back and relearn stuff all the time,
yeah, it sucks.
So
especially on stuff that I play on like records. Like if I have to go play a show with somebody, I played on their album. I can't remember what I did in that studio an hour later. I gotta
Really?
go back. No, I can't remember what I played on my own stuff. I gotta go back and learn my own stuff.
Fucking crazy.
All right, so who all have you gotten to play with?
As far as like backing up, like actually being on stage, backing them up, I played with, I guess the biggest one would be Trace Atkins. I played steel for
Tight.
Trace. That was cool.
That's really cool.
Daryl Worley, played with Daryl a few times. Jeff Bates, he was a bigger artist in the early 2000s. He's from Columbia, Mississippi, actually. Great singer. Got some great tunes. Played with Jeff. I still play with Jeff every now and then. Great dude. One
Brendan-
of my favorites.
Brendan
I ever played-
Roybal?
Brendan, oh yeah, of course. I can't speak enough about how much I've enjoyed that. I really have. I love playing with him.
Do they have like a social media group chat? How do y'all all meet? How do y'all?
Man,
Is there a website?
It just happens.
It's just like for insurance. So we do. So Golden Gulf Insurance Services. If you need insurance, we got you. But like if you pull us up, you can find out what we do in insurance. They have like what do you call like a library of
Really?
agents. Yeah, like you
Okay.
can literally pull up and find out what we do. When it comes to musicians, do they have that yet, or do we need to make that come?
That
to
might
life?
be a thing. That could be a thing. Maybe it is a thing that I just don't know about it. It's just always kind of happened organically for me or anybody I know really.
So, but you meet so many people through bars. Like you play. How many bars do you think you've played
Oh God.
at in 20 years?
I don't even. I can't count. I have no idea.
100.
Oh, 1,000. So I'll give you an example of how you meet musicians. Okay.
Okay.
So I was living in Texas in my early 20s, and I just moved back to the coast.
got you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should know how to use one of these. I use
Yeah,
them
that's
every
all right.
day,
Yeah,
but,
it's
you
fine,
know.
you're
It's
fine.
all right.
But and I just moved back to the coast, and I was producing a record for a Texas artist, and I needed a fiddle player. And this girl that I was playing with, and I was friends with at the time, Marianne Allison, which is, by the way, phenomenal songwriter. I wish she still wrote. She's so good, so talented. She lives in Las Vegas now. But anyway, I said, Marianne, I said, you know any fiddle players? She said, yeah, you need to hire Graham Ray. He's plays with this band called Hip Boot Joe at the Beau Rivage. And she gave me his card, and I couldn't remember how to say his name. So I called him and left him a voicemail. I said, I'm looking for Graham Rhea. I need a fiddle player on a session. Call me back. Anyway, he called me back, and he came up there to Hattiesburg, where it was we were doing the session. Man, we had a great time that day. We and him really hit it off and have been best friends ever since and played together ever since. I started playing with Hip Boot Joe, and then we split up and kind of broke off, played with Graham for a long time in his band, and started doing my own thing and just freelancing.
So I just told you I hired him for the wedding.
For the wedding, for the
Yeah,
ceremony.
and he comes highly recommended by a lot of musicians.
Highly recommended.
But whenever it boiled down to it, I asked
checking
him.
the mail from Graham for saying that.
I said, Graham, I said, would you be interested in this? And he said, absolutely. And then he sent me back almost like a flyer.
Yeah.
Of what all he can do.
Dude, that's his
and
thing.
what he
That
charges.
that
And
is his
it was
thing. He's
very,
great
very
with it.
professional.
That's the most professional guy you'll ever meet. He's always mess with him and tell him I'm the looks of the operation and he's the brains. You know,
Graham carried me to my minivan. We had Garrett's our producer Garrett will pop his face up. You have the comments picture, but Garrett's bachelor party was in Denver. Well, I made a promise to my buddy Brandon Bailey. Me and Matt are from St. Martin, so we had a class reunion in 05. We had a class reunion party at Brandon's house. So Matt went to Garrett's bachelor party, and I stayed in Latimer at Brandon's house, for our St. Martin class reunion. And, because I told Brandon, I'm going to be there. I'm there. And Graham was a performer.
Was he really?
Yeah. And we get there, and there's probably 14 people that showed up. So we're just this is he fully went all out. And
Oh, yeah.
I think I drank a bottle of tequila. All right. And I know Graham carried me to the minivan.
It's good for you.
Yeah. But no, it was a good event, but he played amazing. Like I was telling somebody, I was like watching him play where we're at Brandon's pool with no speakers, no mic.
Yeah.
Like, he just was like, holy shit.
He's
And y'all play together.
a lot, yeah, at
A
least
win.
once a week.
Is it? No, y'all
We're
typically
both
play.
home at least once a week. I
Okay.
should say
Okay.
that. And it's always on a
He plays like
Wednesday.
7 nights a week.
Yeah.
Do you
both
play 7 nights a week?
No, I cut back a lot. I got 3 kids now, and I try to spend at least 1 or 2 nights at home with them at least a week.
So y'all are Wednesday nights at Glory Bound.
yeah.
Shout out, go check them out.
Go check us.
So you run about a 5 day a week?
4 to 5, yeah. Sometimes I'll double up. Like I say, I do a lot of session stuff at the house during the day while everybody's like Rachel's at work and the kids are at school. I can knock out some session stuff. And
So have you ever played? Me and Jordan use some sampling, and have you ever uploaded anything to sampling where anybody can use it, or is it more of just like, hey, I'll play guitar in your studio session time?
stuff like that. Yeah, maybe some of the stuff I played on, people have done that with. As
Okay.
far as my stuff,
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't even know where to begin with that.
yeah, I see either. I mean, we use it like sometimes, but
Yeah.
So he's saying is like there's a few apps, like so you can go in there with story blocks, Soundstripe. There's a few different companies out there, but if you actually did a melody, you could play the melody. If you did like intro, like a jingle, you can play
Yeah.
that, and they'll upload it. And every time somebody clicks on it, you get it paid for it.
you get
Tell me
paid.
more about
You get
this.
paid.
Yeah, no, you get paid.
You get
No,
paid.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
paid if you're the
Sounds
artist.
right up my alley.
Yeah,
right
but,
It is.
but it's big because you get paid by. There's millions of people that are grabbing your
Yeah, you
sounds.
just throw like 4
Really?
chords together for
Yeah.
a 30-second clip, and if somebody wants it, they
it's
use
pretty
it,
fucking large.
and then you get paid off of it.
Sign me up.
Yeah, we're putting you on some new
No,
groundbreaking
Yeah,
Great
dude, that's
stuff
like
here.
yeah.
But I mean, you get like you can have the clip for like what 20 seconds, 15 seconds.
Yeah, it ain't long.
You
but,
just put the music to the clip.
I mean, you upload the clip. The clip is the music.
We'll show you
Right.
after the
Essentially.
show, unless you
Yeah, it's just
mean-
like a little
Yeah, show me.
MP3.
Yeah, no, show me because
Yeah,
that's something I would.
that's. I mean, you play well too. Like
I play well enough for that. I don't play well enough to go get on stage.
Oh, sure you do.
no, he
I
doesn't.
mean,
No, he played in Christian band for a long time. I'm telling you.
did you play any church stuff growing
Oh,
up?
yeah, so
How crazy is it that 90% of musicians I've ever met?
that's kind of where I learned to
That's
play.
how they learn.
On my skills within the church. So my great grandfather was an Assembly of God preacher, and a
So I grew up in the Assembly of God church.
So my
With the-
that's
with the
that's
pretty
how I met my
badass-
wife. We were talking about
Pretty
that.
badass youth crowd.
Yeah,
How'd you meet your wife?
at church. So
Start
anyway,
with your grandpa and then move to her.
So I never got to know my great grandfather, but my grandmother was the pianist in the church, and I would go up there and play guitar with them. That's where I learned to play with a band. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, that honed my skills. And that was done. And bye. And there was a girl in a youth group up there. She had her yearbook, and she was opening it up. I saw a picture of Rachel, my wife. I said, "You need to bring her up here one night. She needs to meet me." And now we got 3 kids and 1 more on the way. Can
Wow.
you believe that?
Wow.
That's amazing. It's a great story.
Yeah, you owe that one girl a huge thank you
I do.
because she brought her.
She did.
Yeah.
I do.
You should write a song.
How
And
for her.
much?
Rachel probably should slap her and say, "Why did you do this to me?" You
But
know
how much? What do you Amazon card or what are we doing here?
what you mean?
That's a gift card. What are we doing? How do we thank her?
I don't know. Amazon card sounds great. Yeah.
If you just write her a song.
Everybody could use an Amazon card. Yeah.
Mm.
Ooh, you got a kid coming soon.
She's got to talk to Rachel about that. She's
What's your new kid? What's
Eliza Lorraine. That's the new one coming.
Eliza?
Eliza.
Are y'all done after
Yeah,
four?
oh, yeah.
Yeah, are you sure?
3.
I'm 1,000% sure. 1,001% sure.
Are you going to get
Oh yeah.
snip?
Oh yeah. We're getting fixed. I'm
Yeah.
getting fixed.
Don't go on any boat rides right afterwards.
That's what I heard. I heard it can be a little rough.
But, so how long? I mean, I don't know if I'd ever do that. Like, but
Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat.
what's it? I mean, what's the steps?
To get fixed.
Yeah. What?
I have no idea. I gotta call a doctor.
Here,
I
can, you
think
pull
they
that up?
just-
Can you pull that
I
up?
think they just
Let's
solder
research
them
this.
now.
Does insurance cover it? Can you
No.
find that?
I don't
out?
think it does. I don't think it does.
Well, y'all should know that.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
It doesn't. Oh, that's not.
But I know that they burn it because at some point now, you can reverse it and get a reversal is a
You're
big
awake the
thing.
whole time.
Yeah, you're awake the whole time, but reversals are something
Yeah,
that's
people get them reversed all the time.
so
Yeah, we really need to find out how this really works.
we can probably get a doctor on here to tell
Huh?
us.
A urologist.
Yeah, I want
Yeah,
to
is that who does
I
it?
think it is.
Is it a
I
urologist?
think
Hey,
it is.
Ben, what's up? Billy? Oh,
Shout out.
shit. Hey, Carter. Hey, JJ, what's up? Boothby. I'm about to see somebody's dick get cut off.
What?
Oh, no.
I ain't watching that.
Ow.
You're getting clipped.
Yeah, they have a Gulf Coast musician page. That's right.
Oh, here we go.
Let's watch it together.
This is very
Wow.
learning. You know,
That's a good piece right there.
So how does this work?
You got glowing eggs.
Yeah. It's very neon.
The bell end looks very pointy. Okay.
That.
That's
What is
the,
that?
that's
What
the
is
ball
this?
wings.
All right. Let's speed this up. 3 minutes of this? No, it's straight to the end.
This is not how babies are born.
Yeah, it is. It's a video. Click one.
Oh, ow.
Oh,
Okay.
they cut that. Oh my god. What are they pulling here? Oh,
Bad.
that's what's happening to you. So I'm not gonna do it.
That's what they, oh,
How'd they tube?
they bid it out.
And they clamp it off.
Oh.
Yes.
And
Oh,
then back in and go. How about that? You learn something new every day.
we're good, Gary. Changed my whole life.
So, yeah, we got to
Well, let's move on from
make some
that.
done. Yeah, I don't know. Let me have a couple kids first, and then I'll think about it.
You should definitely do.
But I might be sterile already. I don't know.
No, you're not sterile.
I hope not.
You're not
Fingers
sterile.
crossed. Fingers crossed.
I've been praying for you. You're not sterile.
Okay.
I'm good for at least 4 of them.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I don't. I
That's
mean,
about all. I can't even handle what.
how old are
They
they?
drive me crazy.
How old are
But I
they?
love them.
Or what's the age?
One's
What's-
about to be 13 in May, so he's 12. Let's see. That's the oldest, Lloyd. That's the archer, champion archer. Pearl, 5. Then Everett just turned 2. And then we have Eliza on the way.
but I will
So-
say the first thing you brought up was you had a pick your son up from archery class.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's something like almost every conversation we've had has been about you doing something with your kids.
yeah, I try. I try to be very
Yes.
involved. It's very important to me.
Are they big in the music? I mean,
No, not yet. Lloyd doesn't play. Pearl wants to play the mandolin. She picks up my mandolin and strums on it every day. Everett, if you put on music, he's clapping his hands right there with it. It's in him. I can tell it's in him. It's in Lloyd too. He wants to play steel, but he's got so much other stuff going
which
on.
steel is the
Pedal
actual
steel.
lap. That's
Is-
a sit
is-
down.
So rank the guitars. Rank it. We're still in the 1 to 10 range. Where's it still at?
Steel, like how hard it is to play.
Like if you rank like 1 to 10 on these guitars, like acoustic, electrical guitar, like where's the still at?
Top of the line.
So he's going for that.
He's going for that. Yeah.
Is it harder?
Yes, that's the hard. It involves both feet, both knees, both hands, and it's fretless. So
Is it fretless? I didn't know
they
that.
have markers on them, but
I never really looked at
but
them
your
or
gear
nothing.
has to
No.
be.
Do you play
Yeah.
with a slide?
Yes, it has a
It
bar.
has to have a slide.
Mhm.
Do you play that? Do you play with the slide on your
Yeah,
regular
I play a lot
guitar?
of slide guitar. Yeah.
So I feel like I got fat fingers. I would,
Oh,
I
they
would,
make one for you.
I would love to learn.
Now
I've
the
never
steel
even messed
doesn't go
around
over
with it.
your finger. Your fingers go over the bar for the steel.
Okay.
It's called a bar.
So is there like badass ones that you would buy that are like personalized or made out of like whalebone or something cool?
There's a certain years from certain makers that I love to have. Like I just got like one that I've been after for years. Last year in November, I got for all the steel lovers out there, a 71 Emmons
Gary,
double
can you
neck.
pull that up? 701 Emin.
Yeah, 71 Emmons double neck. But this one is a special one because it's an all wood neck guitar. Normally it's it's metal neck, and this was a all wood neck. They didn't make many of these, and it's a bolt, what they call a bolt on, which is the mechanism of how.
So is this the guitarist, the guy that was playing that was blonde in Roadhouse? Is that
No. He's just playing it straight.
Okay. But it's okay.
There's a rosewood one down there. That one's for sale, actually, I think. And the one that's outside.
Why do I think that guitar plays on your lap?
That's that's a lap steel or a dobro.
So those are double necks. That's not a
Yeah,
lap
no,
guitar, is it?
No, what I play is right under those, the line under those.
Yeah, go down one.
Yeah. It's like almost like a keyboard.
That's what it looks like. Everybody thinks you're playing keyboard when you play it.
All right.
Which one is it?
The black one in the middle, you just had the mouse over it. That one right there.
Nope.
The one,
That's an Emmons, though. That's an Emmons.
the keyboard right there, the on the right side of
The
it.
one in the very middle, one left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the hardwood floor.
Damn.
How many of these
can
do
play
you
that?
have?
Yeah. Play it every day.
How many of these do you have?
I just have 3 of them right now.
How much
Where-
do these go for?
Some of them go for a lot.
Really? I mean, the guitars.
Well, how much? 5. What year is it? An 81? That's a little high for that guitar.
That one that he's sitting there that he's brought, Matt, that's 10.
Are those electric?
Yes.
They are. They have pickups in them.
Mhm.
That does not, right? Do you play with the pickup? Do you add?
Some acoustics.
Do you
I
have a
pickups
pickup
in.
that slides into any
No, not in
guitar?
this one. I doubt I might put a pickup in this guitar. Actually, I probably will put a pickup in it later on this year because it deserves to be
What the
played
hell's a
out.
pickup?
It's like a microphone that goes in and picks up the sound. It's what transfers it to the PA system or the
Makes
amp.
it an electric guitar.
Like a lav mic?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Like the pickups in electric guitars have magnets in them. They have
Okay.
magnetic poles in them, and under each string, and that's what picks up
Oh,
each
shit, really?
frequency of each string. Yeah, and it sends it through to the amp.
And plays. You want to play us another song?
Sure. What do y'all want to hear?
Oh no, what do you want to hear?
I want him to play originals.
Okay. All right.
Brennan requested the Willie Nelson.
Okay. Well,
Fuck Brandon, fuck you. He's playing original.
This is an original.
Okay.
It's actually a funny story behind it.
Can we hear the story first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's tell the story. So, I got a phone call from IP one day. Like, hey, Willie's coming to play, and we want you to be his opening act. We've told them about you, and they've watched your stuff, and they want you to be the opening act. So this is a joke. Because Willie is like one of my heroes, man. I thought it had to be a joke, but it wasn't. So I went to open for Willie, and a buddy of mine said, you got to do something like really special because you only get like a really short time slot when you open those big artists like that. And to be remembered by. And I was walking into Walgreens, and this idea like hit me. I said, I got to get home and write it fast. Anyway, so I wrote this one, and I'll try to remember it. But this is what I closed my show with, my set at the Willie gig. So let's see. Well, I always thought she was touchy, bit on the sensitive side. It didn't take much to upset her. Yeah, she'd let those expletives fly. One night I thought I could please her. Popped open a bottle of wine. I put on some music, but she started to lose it. Then all of a sudden, she crossed the line. 'Cause that woman turned down my Willie as soon as I pulled it out. I just wanted to hear Whiskey River, but she got triggered, went crazy and grabbed that knob and turned down the volume. I guess she didn't want it up loud. So here I am back on the road again. She turned my Willie down. See, I can't remember the rest of it. Anyway,
You're good. You're good.
I love it.
Oh,
That's
look at
awesome.
all-
What kind of reaction did you get?
oh my
playing
God,
this
they
stuff?
went nuts. I still have people messaging me about that song.
Well, I'm gonna be one of them now.
I
I
should-
like it. That's
I
awesome.
should record it and release that.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you released songs, Tyre, you doing it on like SoundCloud? Are you making CDs? Are you making?
Well, so I'll tell you about that. I'm not an expert on that situation by no means.
okay.
I've played on tons of stuff that's been released, but not under my name, just as a musician on it. And I made an album a while back and released it. And it was like on iTunes and stuff and Amazon and all that. But then for some reason, I took it down. I don't even remember why I took it down or how I did. But anyway, so I'm gonna that I wish I would have done different on it.
I mean, we're our own worst critic every day.
That's why it's taking me so long to finish the second one.
That's what we say about the cartoon.
Because I'm doing it myself. I'm producing it myself. I'm playing the instrument.
So
Yeah,
And I'm doing it in my own studio. Having your own place to do it is a blessing and a curse.
the same.
It's great because you can.
You need a Jordan because sometimes I'll do something and I'm like, this sucks. And he's
Dude.
like, no, bro, send it. It's good. And vice versa.
Exactly.
Like we egg each other on.
it's all lies, guys. I just send it because I fuck it.
I can't
Send
count
it.
the times that I've went and cut a solo or a part on my record, and I would probably play it 40 or 50 takes. And I'd go back and listen to them, and I'd use one, and I'd look at which number would it would be like first or second one I played. And I just wasted all that time and energy when I wound up keeping the first one. Or the
Is that how
second
you
take.
do it? Is that how you actually, like you say, take one, take two, take three, take four, take? And
At home, I do, yeah. Well, in the studio, you do that too. And like
I've never done
when
that.
I go do stuff for people, but like say I go to a studio, I also go to different studios and work for other people a lot also. But there, it feels like you got somebody saying, "Okay, that was good. Don't do it again. We're done. 2 or 3 takes, and you moving on to the next one." Because time is money in that case. At
Right.
my house, it's not. Time is sitting there going, "This is fun. I'm gonna play with my kids for a little bit. I'll come back and go," or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just you get easily distracted too at home.
What all instruments do you play?
Almost basically all string instruments except like bowed instruments. I don't fool with any of those. So
The harp?
no, I don't fool with that. I forgot about that. I never think of that as a string instrument, but I guess it is. It might be a percussion.
I don't know. I don't really know where it falls.
Like a
under.
piano is actually percussion, you know.
I thought that would be string
That's
too.
percussion.
So you can play the piano.
A little bit, not but enough at home that I can play a little part and get an idea down.
All right, let's go into UFOs and shit. Hey, look.
Hey, before we do that, I'm gonna.
Go pee pee.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
great.
But JJ, let's get into JJ real quick though. Charter Trash, JJ, we love you, man. Like JJ, he started Charter Trash through Across from Beer, like because we started putting stuff out. He got inspired by it. JJ's been rocking and rolling Charter Trash. And
I got a friend request. From Charlie? Who's JJ?
you've met JJ.
All right, JJ. Sorry, dude. I know you.
Well, I mean, you've met him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Charter Trash. Y'all go check him out. Give him a like, follow.
He started his brand that he had. So he was a captain, and so he started a brand. Like he was a captain, and then doing charter booking ventures. The tougher work for like cleaning up behind everybody. So Charter Trash was his thing because he'd clean up after people when they went on. What you do all the time. Like you go out and
I don't charter that much. We always go on our own boats. Chartering's like next level. They're like baiting your hook for you and like cleaning the fish for you.
he did that for several years and
Yeah, it's tough work.
had
It's
a
tough
brand,
work.
Charter Trash, and it was inspired by our brand, Cross Beer.
That's dope.
And-
anytime we can inspire somebody, I'm about that life.
That's yours. You got it, Garrett. But no, that was something that JJ really pushed with it. Like sick brand though. Shout out. Like it was cool to like I was at Desperate Sons, and he gave me a hat, and when he gave me a hat, I rocked the shit out of it. Then I see Heath from Knuckleheads. We trade hats. There's a rule. You trade hats too.
Yeah.
And I traded
That old hat wall, man. I don't know about you, but like we get a hat a week.
Got hats scattered to the house.
So Heath's seen the hat that he did. JJ just gave me the hat.
I just got this from the night. Thanks to you.
Oh,
It's a dope hat. I lost mine on the fishing trip, so I'm gonna need another one,
Oyster
guys.
Seeds, yeah. No shit. Eagle Point Oyster Company. Oyster Springs Oyster Seed. Yeah, they got you.
All right, where all are you playing down here before we talk about UFOs?
Man, all over. We played Stagecoach a good bit with the full band, Glory Bound, Island View Casino. A lot of private stuff. I've been kind of getting into that a little bit more, the corporate kind of
Cool.
deal. Yeah.
All right, and tell everybody where they can find you.
So Ty Taylor Music on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Yeah.
And if they wanted to book you, that's the place to
They
do
can
it.
send me a message.
DMs?
Slide
in them
man.
DMs.
That's
All right. Now, did your dad tell you that Calvin Parker, he believed him or not?
Yeah, he did believe him.
He did.
So Garrett,
He
can
did.
we pull up UFOs? Let's
He
just
did.
go
let's,
to
let's
YouTube.
talk about that.
Yeah, let's go
That
through
really
let's
intrigued
pull up
me.
all the UFOs, and we're gonna react to all UFOs we've seen in 2023.
Has there been a bunch?
There's a shit ton. Garrett, pull up 2023 UFO. Yeah, we're guys. If you don't want to watch about UFOs, I love you guys. Tune in next time. This is all about UFOs now.
All right.
We're gonna get that.
Have you personally ever seen a UFO?
I've seen. I had a questionable event happen. I can't explain it. What it was, I don't know what it was. It scared me to death.
Did the
It was
hair
in
stand up on the back?
It did, big
Okay.
time. I
So it
was
was one
on
of
the
those
phone with my
ones.
friend Chris McNeese. He can vouch for it. He could tell that it really
Were you sober?
very
Okay.
as it gets. That's the first question everybody always asks. Were you sober? Yes, as a matter of fact.
All
I
right.
was
Describe
very.
this experience for us.
It. I was just driving like down the highway. It was late at night. I was coming home from a family member's house, and with some friends, and I was driving down the highway, and something. It looked like an orange ball with a white light behind it, just come out of nowhere. I saw it, and it like came out for a little bit. Looked a lot like that right there. Actually,
Oh, wow.
yeah, but it wasn't as many lights. It was just like the one main one. And then so I slowed down. I'm like, that was different. I've always heard of ball lightning. You ever heard of that? You ever
Yeah.
heard people talk? But I've never,
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that's ball lightning. That's cool. Well, so I started slowing down. Then it did it again and it kind of moved over and stopped. And it just sat there. I'm like, that's not ball lightning. Can't be. So I pulled over. Well, then another one come out of the sky on the other side of the highway. At this point, I'm stopped. I'm on the phone with my friend. I'm
Where we at here?
Uh,
I-10?
huh?
No, where are you at?
Where was I at?
Yeah.
I was coming back from Hurley towards Moss Point on Highway 63.
Okay.
And another one, I'm like, that's crazy. And then this one went pew, over to that one, and they both went pew,
Took off.
took off.
Interesting.
Very interesting. It blew
No.
my mind. To this day, I'm
How old were you?
22, 23.
Okay, so yeah. I've seen something do something like similar out on the water, out like on the islands. Where
Have
there's-
you really?
Where there's no light. I mean, it kind of shot across the water and then shot straight up into the sky.
That's crazy.
It was unexplainable.
I try to look for a logical explanation in everything. I really try to,
So I also had another
and I can't
experience
figure
where
out one on this one.
I'm driving and then I saw something similar out of like the peripheral vision. And I'm like, what is that? And it's very bright. And then all of a sudden I turn my head and it goes away. And I turn my head and it comes back. Turn my head and it goes away. And it ended up being a reflection
Okay.
off of something in the vehicle. So
Yeah.
I know that sometimes there are.
And that's what I thought this could have been, was a reflection. But when I stopped and the other one came out and it shot over there and went, I'm like, well, it didn't make that noise, obviously, but I just like that sound effect.
So
But
what-
it wasn't like, I don't know what it was. I really don't. And it freaks me out to this day to think about it, like wondering what it was. I want to know.
it was definitely aliens. Like, there's
I'm
no
not
doubt.
saying it was aliens, but it was definitely
There's no
aliens.
doubt. Like,
Yeah, but
all right,
As the
You
guy
see- you
says
seen
in
it,
the
right?
names. Oh, I saw it.
Yeah.
Independence Day, right? They got aliens. That's Area 51. They talk about it. You had the Bob Lazar guy.
Dave, have you listened to the podcast
Yeah,
and all that stuff about
absolutely.
him and watched the documentary?
Yeah, but no, he was a little weird.
He was different. Yeah,
They'd
he's
say
different.
in the podcast that I guess it was the Rogan
The
one.
Joe Rogan one, that was the only thing I watched or listened on him that kind of sometimes made me question him a little bit, was his mannerisms about things. Like he kept going to the migraine thing to kind of not answer a question. And I was like, but I don't,
But they were like he didn't have any kind of background in it. He was just a nerd
right.
that went super
But he
into it.
hasn't
Was like,
gained anything from that. So
No.
why would he?
yeah, I agree. I mean, maybe
Exactly,
a little
you know
bit of
what I mean?
publicity. I know what his name is.
He
Right,
got,
we know
he
this.
got a lot.
He probably got something.
You
from
think
it,
so?
yeah.
He's made some money off that.
Well,
documentary.
they did a
but he got his name out there.
They did a
like,
Netflix special with him
yeah, he
too.
got-
The guy that was actually on the Joe Rogan podcast with him, I can't remember his name, but he's like a big buff jacked
Oh,
up-
Jeremy Corbell.
Yes, him.
Yeah.
So he's actually like gone off into this whole mission to prove that UFOs are real, and has done like a pretty extensive.
Him and George Knapp, the investigative reporter that broke the Bob Lazar story from Las Vegas. They just did a different one on Skinwalker Ranch. Have y'all seen that?
No.
I haven't watched all of it. I've listened to the podcast about it.
Okay.
It's
Is there aliens at Skinwalker Ranch?
That's what they claim.
Interesting.
They claim that's what's mutilating all the cattle and stuff.
Huh. Need to read about that.
They've got a taste for Black Angus beef, I guess.
I mean, I don't blame them. It's
Who
good
don't?
stuff,
You know what I
right?
mean?
Like-
They can't blame them.
it's I think a big thing with UFOs is, you know, when I was with Calvin, it was, you know, it's some, how the hell did I grow up where an alien's green looks this certain way with eyes? Like it's always been in like movies.
Yeah, you think of what
Yeah. Yes. There's always that.
Hollywood,
There's,
like TV and
yeah.
stuff
There's always an
portrayed
alien.
as.
Independence Day. They've always done movies about aliens.
Worf from
Yeah,
Star
and then,
Trek.
and then all of a
big
sudden it's like,
forehead.
oh yeah, UFOs are real, but they've always done movies. There's always movies like Independence Day, Will Smith, dragging an alien. Now
Welcome
it's
to
like
Earth.
normal.
Right.
I
Have
just
y'all
don't know.
watched the videos the Pentagon released about the Tic Tac?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which was
Can
on the
you
Bob
pull that up?
Lazar.
Can you pull
It
that
was
up?
on
Yeah, it
the
was on
Rogan.
that.
one,
It was
yeah.
talking
Let's shut
about
up.
that.
Let's-
Pull up the Tic Tac.
No,
It's
let's go into this
crazy.
shit.
They
I wanna
said
go into
that-
this shit.
It operates with anti-gravity.
Yes.
Okay, so
Think
you can
about
go
that.
into any direction at any time or at any speed by
With no
projecting.
sound. It's emitting no heat or nothing. You know, it's crazy.
So I have a hard time believing some of the stuff that they go into, and I don't
I do
think
too.
it's just
I do
more
too.
of I'm uneducated. That's probably why.
I think my
I
biggest thing
just-
is that politicians can kiss my ass.
Yeah,
I no, honestly
Uh,
believe that it's
in larger scale,
they
but white,
play.
oblong,
video.
no apparent flight control surfaces, no apparent.
And there was
visible
multiple
means of
occurrences, of
propulsion.
this.
Yes, there was.
not just this specific
There it
time,
is.
because they're
Maneuvering in a
all
way that
dated
we
in
didn't recognize,
times
that we
in the
couldn't
corner of the
classify,
square right
we
there.
couldn't identify.
This was
And
what
do
they
you think
just
it is, looking
declassified.
back?
Yes.
And then here's some weird people talking about it. Us.
All right, yeah, that's it.
Now,
The weirdest is in the white hat.
yeah, they have multiple pilots coming out
They
now
do,
and
man.
saying,
It's crazy.
and they're not just they're not on the same mission. They're some of them
Yeah,
are
can
in
we
one
find more
area.
Shit about like I mean, in the last like let's pull up the last week.
He just had a video playing when you use the bathroom with like I think 5 or 6 different ones that all happened so far this year.
That's creepy as shit.
Yeah. What do you think that they are here to tell us? Or do you think that like they're already living among us?
You really want to know? It's like
Yeah, I really want to know.
Oh man,
We need to get one on the podcast.
I don't know when it comes to political shit. So I would say
Lizard people?
no, not yet. But there's a lot going on where this is like they push it more to like away from things, like certain things, like that person got in an argument at Target.
Mm.
this is funny.
Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
That's it.
it's. Red button. There's a little better CGI or something. I don't know. They really will.
I mean, I think that they are. There's no doubt.
I
but
do too. I
I
think
saw-
there's something to it. Yeah.
I saw yesterday that they discovered a new black hole that is moving.
I saw that.
And they said it could go from Earth to the moon in 14 minutes. It's effing some things up, I would imagine. Yeah, but it's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's still pretty fast because the moon's a long way away.
So
It's at least down the road and up a piece, you know.
and it's just like, I guess, sucking everything in, where and there's another one that's aiming directly at the Milky Way. I was just so far
That's
away.
comforting.
Yeah. I like to think
How far is the Milky Way? How far?
I cannot answer that question. More than 14 minutes.
There are a lot of questions we have to figure.
Runaway
out.
black hole tears through space, creating a trail of new star. Okay. I don't know where we've got these microscopes pointing and how they're finding this stuff out, but I feel like I follow some things on NASA that they're dropping new information every day.
Yeah.
And it seems to be pretty real time.
So I'm not a big fan of NASA right now.
Yeah. Why not?
I feel like when you pull like Elon and people like that, like there's government contracts, there's so much more shit they gotta, like they've been doing it for a long time, but like
Right.
sending out data or I don't know, NASA's weird. There's a lot of shit they should tell us.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff they should tell us.
Right?
Yeah. Why don't we storm the gates?
No kidding.
Wasn't that
I
a
think they
movement?
tried that,
Storm
yeah.
Area 51.
I don't know.
And then they had to come out and
Show us some aliens. or
yeah, he had
something?
to like
remember
come
that?
out and say, no, don't do that. I don't
But there's
support
gonna be
that.
more than just us, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I would
think about it.
think.
There's gonna be way more than us.
What
It
is
cannot
that?
be
What is
like-
that? There's another solar system in a different galaxy, Kepler 22 or something. That
Yeah. And
has
there's
a
Earth-like.
Earth-like planet in the habitable zone that could house life. It's just stuff like that makes you think, oh,
There's definitely something on that planet.
what if there's another place and they're having a podcast and they're like,
And there's a Ty Taylor on
Saying,
there.
Fuck it.
Except his name's
Guys
Ty Taylor.
are talking to this redneck fella from Mississippi. He's got this guitar or whatever.
I think that whoever's
You
be
think
watching
they're
this
real?
entertaining, yeah. I'm big into now parallel universes. I feel like that's out there.
Oh wow.
Dive into that.
I've been
So,
reading
dive-
into
yeah.
it. I mean, I don't know where you
I
want me
never
to
thought about
dive.
that.
But any and every scenario is possible. And if there's so many repetitive,
What do you mean,
universe-
like a parallel? Like there's
Yeah.
somewhere.
so like
else-
you just look to your left, and there's another universe where you look to your right. Yeah, yeah. You play a guitar,
He's
and
got a
then there's
ponytail.
another universe where you play the piano, and there's another universe where you play the
fiddle
guitar.
player. Oh no,
Yeah.
that's a bad universe. We don't want to go to that
Right,
universe.
So it's just a theory. It's all theoretical,
Yeah.
But whenever you get into, I remember I described this one day. My mom and dad's bathroom. Whenever I was a kid, I'd go get dressed in there for school, and there was a mirror on one side of it, and then there was a mirror on the other side of it. And then if you would look at it from the right angle, you could see like infinity rooms.
Yeah, rooms.
And
Yeah,
that
I know
take
what
that
you're talking about.
mindset and apply that to infinity universes where everything's an option, where you could be a fish, Ty Taylor playing a guitar, because it's an option.
Crazy fish.
Yeah, you don't know.
It's like that movie. Y'all ever seen Interstellar?
Yeah,
Where he's like in a different
Yeah, and he
dimension
knocks
or
the book
whatever. He
off
knocks
the shelf.
You're right. Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
So if that stuff's going on, aliens are like the least of our worries, I feel like. So, or maybe that could be the alien, technically, if it's coming from a different planet. What is the definition of an alien?
Right.
Some people would consider a fish maybe an alien or alien like looking. There's octopuses.
There's
that
got to
look-
be species of of
something here
life on this
came from
planet that
space.
we've never even seen or thought of yet. You know what I mean? That's in the deepest parts of the jungle, or say the deepest depths of the ocean. You're still discovering stuff every day. Not every day, but
Holy shit, 100%. I mean, how many?
think about that. I see. Because I really like to keep up with.
Do you think there's more fish in speckled trout?
Yeah,
Man, there's a
species.
flounder. That's
or
the
marlin or a tuna
So many.
or Costa del Mar's, all of it.
tabby
mixed in
cat. That's
one.
my favorite.
No,
That's like, I mean, there's so much. There's,
You mean
there's
they
way
make
much
another
more.
fish besides a speck? Tell me more.
No, but there's, I mean, it's life. I mean,
Yeah, it's true,
we're, to me, I feel like we're this one little salt piece.
speck.
That's better.
And it's like
When
this
you
little
think
mite of
about the
mine, I'm gonna
size
let
of
it
things,
shine.
When you, what really blows my mind is when you think about how many galaxies and
So many.
stuff out there. It just makes you feel so
We are small.
really.
We're
And
very small.
insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But ultimately, like I just said, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine until it's over with.
That's right. That's what
Yeah,
me and my
pass
daughter
it
sing
on.
that song all the time. She picks up the mandolin and I play the guitar and we sing it all the
That's
time.
but that's cute.
It's cute.
I
It's
bet
great.
so.
I love it.
All right, guys. Well, I want
She
to
gets
say
bumped.
this right here. You like music?
Yeah, give us the song. Let's sing it out on the song. I like it. I like it.
This is for Pearl. I'm sure Pearl's
In
watching
bed.
and listening at home.
Y'all go like Todd Taylor.
Dang.
Facebook,
It's like a
Instagram.
dog,
Send him some DMs if you like his music. You can Venmo him. You can Cash App him.
Yes, and be sure to buy the new. In fact, the new album that I'm going to put out, and I might even go back and re-release the other one on vinyl, both of them on vinyl.
I love that.
Yeah, that's like the new one is definitely going to be.
You
pressed
saw
on
we got a
vinyl.
record player in
I
there.
saw, dude. That's how I listen to music at home. Records. I love it. Love listening to records. And
Well, each piece. Will you cut every each piece of your hair for vinyls? Would you get a piece of your hair?
I ain't got that many left, man.
Oh, shit.
I got to hold on to them.
All right.
I'll give them a chest.
There
hair.
you
How
go.
about
There
that?
you
They
go.
can get a chest hair.
They can
What
clone
we
you.
playing?
Whatever
Yeah.
you want.
What the fuck you want? Dude, but Calvin's probably.
Let's see.
Have you reached out lately? No.
Have you read the book?
Twice. Both of them.
So my dad worked with both of those guys, and they always said, they were always asking, Tater Bud. That's what they call my dad. That's what he know. Tater Bud. When you gonna take us floundering? After that happened, he said, I ain't taking y'all floundering.
Yeah, I'd be good on that trip
We
too.
know, we good. He said, it's no way that something, he said, I don't know what it was, but something definitely happened to those guys. Just like there's no way they could have made that up. It's just so you could see it in their faces. And he's not the only person that's told me that.
Yeah.
That knew him. You know, I believe it. I believe something happened to him. I don't know what it was, and they might not know exactly what it was. They
You
got a
guys-
pretty good idea though.
You guys can go watch that episode. Calvin
Yeah,
Parker,
definitely.
Look it up.
Let's play a piece of one more original. It's going to be on
Perfect.
the new record. How about that?
Awesome.
So I'm a big bluegrass fan, and this is Rachel's favorite song actually that I've written.
There you go. Brownie points.
So we'll send it to. Back on the coast of Carolina, I bet the air there already feels like fall. There's a girl that I had to leave behind there that tonight I'd love to call. And I can see her walking in the moonlight like we did on that Carolina beach. And I know as soon as there's an ocean, yeah, she's waiting there for me. 'Cause I know she'll be in Carolina, but tonight I'm gonna find her in my dreams. No, I'm gonna be beside her. She's in Carolina waiting there for me. She's in Carolina waiting there for me. Anyway, buy the record.
Yeah.
Listen, stream it. You can hear the rest of it.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. Hey, well, thanks for coming in.
But that's a great, that's one of my favorite tracks I produced on this new one because I play banjo on it. Got a bunch.
So do you lay over like you play one instrument and then come back
I
in and
do.
play other ones and other on top of it? That's dope. I know I'm saying I'm not
I
that
have a
good
whole
at it, so.
process of how I do it.
Yeah, what is the starting step of this
So
process?
I get my arrangement down.
Air condition has to be on like 60.
When I put the mics on, that's right. That's right. So I start out with an acoustic and just I do what I call a guide track. It's just me, like this, like I'm sitting right now.
Right.
Then it's all to a click track. Then I go build a drum track to that. Now we replace the drums later on with actual
Real drums.
right. I send it to my friend in Louisiana, and he plays. And but anyway, so that's kind of my process, and then I just build it from there. But I hear everything in my head. I already know exactly how the song is gonna go. Something,
Right.
you know, and you'll get surprised, and you'll make a turn or something. You'll hear, oh, that's you. When you lay one part down, it triggers another part in your head, and you might go, okay, let's go put that on there or whatever. But generally, I have a map in my head of how I do it every time. When I
Dope.
do it by myself.
So, well, guys, if you like Todd Taylor, go find him. Go like him. Go look for him. He's out there playing. Ty, we appreciate you coming in
Appreciate
the
you
studio.
having
Dude.
me.
It's
And
been a
I
heck of a
was-
show.
Give a shout out to my band. You know, be sure to come catch us, the Kinfolk, one night when
The Kinfolk. I
That's what we
like
call
it.
a backing band. It's Ty
I
Taylor
like
and the
it.
Kinfolk.
I
You
love
know, when I bring the Kinfolk with me, Mike and
That's good stuff.
Chris and Brent and Bo. Yeah.
Oh, man, we appreciate it. You can come back on the show for us again.
In a
All right.
heartbeat.
Perfect. Perfect.
We'll talk some more.
Awesome.
We didn't even talk about fishing that much. Or,
Oh, we'll do that next time.
We'll leave that
Or
for
we
next
can do it off this thing.
time. I'm about to go give the turkeys. About to go aggravate them.
Yeah,
for the
it's
next few
time.
weeks.
It's
It
time.
is, yeah, I ain't got to go. That's my favorite is turkey hunt.
I've never really done it. So
Oh, let
I
me
mean,
know when you get ready.
all right. I mean,
We'll
I'll let you
go.
know. You take me?
In a heartbeat.
All right,
Let's
let's
go.
How
do
many turkeys can we kill in a weekend?
How many?
Yeah.
3 apiece.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of birds.
It's a lot.
Down.
All right. All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all so much.
Okay.
Okay. I'll start.